Hi there, dance studio owners, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Transform My Dance Studio podcast with CEO and founder of the Dance Studio Owners Association, Clint Salter. Over the coming weeks, we are delighted to be sharing with you a rare opportunity to listen in on Clint's online Coach-A-Thon series. During this two-part special of Transform My Dance Studio, join Clint as he workshops innovative ideas and solutions around 4 places to market your studio to increase your enrollments. How to stand out from your competition, the biggest marketing mistakes studio owners are making, and so much more gold for your dance studio in 2020 and beyond. We hope you enjoy today's special episode. And make sure to join our free Facebook group, the Dance Studio Owners Hub, for more resources and support in growing the dance studio of your dreams.
Hello, good morning, Dance Studio Owners. It is Clint Salter here, founder of the Dance Studio Owners Association, creator of the Student Attraction Intensive Program. Today is really for me to go through with you my Student Attraction Amplifier. And this is the 9 core pillars that you need to be focusing on when you think about marketing, your dance studio. Now, these 9 core pillars are cut up into 3 categories, and those categories are attract, enroll, and retain. You have probably heard me say that so many times. I'm sure I say this in my sleep often. Attract, enroll, and retain. And this is the marketing machine that allows your studio to grow, to acquire new customers, to get those customers doing more classes, to get those students and dance families purchasing more products and services from you, for staying for a very long time and then become raving fans where they're referring your studio to other people that they know would be a great fit for your studio family. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today. Now, don't forget, if you haven't already registered for our Student Attraction Challenge, now is your time. It starts next Monday. It's a full week of free training where I'm doing a real deep dive into student attraction. Every day, I'm doing about an hour training and then a 30-minute Q&A each afternoon. So you definitely don't want to miss this. As I said, it's free. It goes for 5 days. Just go to dsoa.com/challenge. dsoa.com/challenge. Let me know in the comment section if you've already registered. Just put registered in the chat, in the comment section. Emma is here. Emma's saying woohoo for retreat. Yeah, Emma's one of our Inner Circle members. I'll see you soon, Emma. I can't wait. It's going to be super exciting. I'm very excited for our retreat. I mean, I always am. So let's talk about these 3 pillars: attraction, enroll, and retain. And then we split these up. So each pillar has 3 things that you need to do. So we're going to start with attraction. How do you attract new students? Well, the first thing that you need to identify is simply identifying your target market. And we talked about target market last week. So if you missed that, go back, revisit that training. But the first thing you need to do before you start your marketing plan, before you do a Facebook ad, before you put out a post on social media, is you need to carefully think through who is your target market, who are your ideal students, who are your ideal dance families. The next thing you need to do is present them with an offer. Now, there are about, I think last time we counted, 15 to 20 offers that you could share with your customers. I'm going to be going through some of those offers next week in the challenge. One of them is like a free trial class, for instance. Now, if you don't offer free trials, don't go crazy on me. That's fine. You don't have to offer free trials. Maybe you do paid trials. They both have pros and cons, which I'll be talking about next week. But yeah, you need to present them with an offer. So first step is identify your target market. The next step is offer. What is the offer that you want to, share with them or get them in? And the next thing is you've got to provide them with that offer. So if it's a free trial class, for instance, you've got to provide that to them. Now, the next piece is the enroll stage. And this is where some studio owners, they drop the ball a little bit. They have their marketing happening and they're generating leads, but then they don't have a process to walk them through actually becoming an enrolled student. So once they've inquired, once they've taken you up and they've said, yes, I put up my hand for the offer, let's say it's a free trial class, the next thing you need to do is to engage them. Engage them. So engaging them means multiple things. Engaging could be through SMS, it could be through email, it could be through phone call, it could be through social media, it could be through a Facebook group, it could be through direct messaging, through Instagram or Facebook. There's lots of ways that we can engage with people, but we want to have what we call touch points. So we want to have multiple touch points to communicate with people so that they can dive a little bit deeper and get to know us a bit better. Then we need to communicate clearly the benefits of our studio, the benefits of that trial class that they're going to take. And so this is why they're doing the trial class. They've come to your studio, they've checked you out. Hopefully a lot of you already have my 11-step enrollment process. I'm not going through that process in our Coach-A-Thon, but I am going to talk about it in our Student Attraction Challenge as well. But we have a whole 11-step process for you to enroll a student. This is just really the framework of the marketing. So we've done attract and enroll, we've engaged them, we're communicating with them, and then we need to secure the enrollment. Another tricky step for a lot of studio owners is actually asking for the enrollment. Just because they come, out of class and they leave the studio doesn't mean that they don't want to become an enrolled student at your studio. I've heard crazy things when I've said to people, okay, after they've done a trial class, you've got to follow up with them. And people say to me, well, if they wanted to join, they would just join. I shouldn't have to follow them up. And I often say, if that's your attitude, you're going to be broken out of business. It is really important that you follow up. I often say the fortunes is in the follow up. And that's why you need the 11-step enrollment process. I'm sure a lot of you have implemented my system already, but that enrollment process really steps it out step by step. And so that's your enroll piece. So attract is identify your ideal customer, present them with an offer, provide that offer to them. You want to engage them in multiple touch points, clearly communicate to them why your studio, and then secure the enrollment. And the last piece is retain. So when we're retaining them, it's firstly about delivering that product or service that they enrolled for. So you've just secured the enrollment, then you've got to deliver. One of the things I talk about frequently is our 6-week onboarding process. It's part of our Student Attraction Intensive program, which is our 8-week long coaching program that we do, where it really walks you through what you need to do with that customer for their first 6 weeks to ensure they stay around for a while. Those first 6 weeks are crucial. That's when they decide if they like you. That's when they decide whether you are chaotic or calm, whether you are organized or a mess, all of those things. And so we want to make sure that we give our customers the best experience possible in those first 6 weeks. So that's in deliver. That's your first 6 weeks. The next piece happens for about three to 6 months, and that's the delight phase. The delight phase are those small little things that we can do to share with our customers that we appreciate them, that we hear them, that we see them. And these things don't cost a lot of money. These are just some things we can do during those first 6 months to really put a smile on their face and for them to go, I love this place. Like, I love being here. I love our family being part of this studio. And the last piece of the retention framework is elevate. And when we elevate them, this is when they go into this next phase where they're advocates for your studio, and they are very, very interested in referring customers to you. So they're referring their friends and family members to come along to your studio. And that's the elevate phase. So guys, these are the 9 areas of marketing in my Student Attraction Amplifier framework. So we have the identity, we then have the offer, we then have providing them the offer that you actually gave them. So that's under the attract banner. Then we have the enroll banner, and that's all about engagement, communication, and securing the enrollment. And then we have retention, the retain pillar, which is all about delivering the service or product to them, delighting them, and then elevating them, right? That's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we are elevating them. And so you can see the model right here on my screen at the moment. let me make it a little bigger for you. So you can see here, student attraction amplifier. You've got attract here, which is identify, offer, and provide them. Then you have enroll, which is about engaging, communicating with them, then securing the enrollment. And then you have retention, which is about delivering them what they have purchased, the service or product, delighting them, and then elevating them to the next level where they become big advocates and they start referring your services. And so this is really what builds, and you can see in the middle here is your studio's legacy, because this student attraction amplifier is really your marketing machine, and you rinse and repeat this, and you keep going. And we've created something. We've created a 6-week marketing plan, which has all of the marketing mapped out for you. Also part of our student attraction intensive, our 8-week coaching program. And so, when you have all of these pieces and you have the strategy and then you have the execution plan, like, guys, you should be attracting students every single week into your in-person or virtual studios. And some of you are running small in-person capped classes at the moment. But guys, my friends, there is no limit to how much you can grow your online classes. We have a studio at the moment who has had to increase their teachers and teaching hours just to manage the online classes that they are running at the moment, because they are really focused on enrolling new students in their virtual classes. All right, excited for today's mini masterclass, which is all about retention. Now, I love talking about retention, but I've got to be honest with you. When I talk about retention, most people tune out just a little bit. They think the marketing, the acquisition piece, the student attraction and enrollment is the sexiest stuff. And like, it is very sexy and it is very helpful for your business. But I love student retention. And the reason I love it is because not only do you get to follow the journey of a student, I mean, that's just joyous and so fulfilling in itself, like seeing someone that's like 3 or 4 and then seeing them graduate with lots of tears from both of you, when they're 18. I mean, there's nothing on the planet like that. But the other reason I love it is because it increases the lifetime value of a customer, which means the revenue that you earn from delivering value in a service and products to these customers. What you're delivering is amazing and you're getting paid for it. And it doesn't cost you money to keep people coming to your studio. It costs you money, though, to keep attracting people. Often people say, I get one student in and one leaves, one comes in and one leaves. And that's why a lot of people, will say, like, I've kind of plateaued, or I've only got 100 or a couple of 100 students, or I can't seem to get past this amount of students, is because they haven't put the right types of systems and processes in place around attraction, enrollment, and retention. Those three phases. And so that's what we really want to focus on today. I just want to shift our focus a little bit to the retention piece. And a few years ago, back in, it's quite a few, 2015, I created a process called Care Factor. It's a trademark system where I teach how to retain your students. And so I wanted to walk you through that system today because I think it is going to be really useful for you. So you should be able to see Care Factor on my screen right now. And I wanted to walk you through this very impactful process and kind of show you what happens here, because there's a lot of numbers and stuff going on. So once someone purchases from you, the first thing you need to go, if we look at step number 1, is you need to deliver. And what you need to deliver is the promise. And this is very important because sometimes this is where studios muck it up. They get the enrollment, but your job just starts when you get the enrollment friends. Like, people think it's all the marketing and the enrollment process and getting them through the door. Like, that's the hard stuff. No, the hard stuff is delivering to them your promise that you've promised to them, keeping them engaged and continue delivering value. And so when someone signs up for your studio, I've seen people say things that aren't really aligned to their promise. When they say, oh yeah, you can definitely join competition in a month's time. Or yeah, for sure, we can definitely get you in that additional class for that recital routine only. So they promise things that aren't in alignment with the offer that they're delivering to everyone else. And so that's when I talk about delivering the service or the product that someone has purchased from you, delivering the group classes, for instance, or the private lesson or the recital tickets. This applies to everything, not just group classes, is that you have to deliver on the promise. Because the first thing that will disrupt them and make them question their decision on enrolling or purchasing something from you is if what you deliver isn't aligned to your promise. And we've all been there, right? Who's been to a restaurant and had a bad meal? Me. Who's had an Uber Eats meal that was cold and soggy when it arrived? Me. And so there's friction there between the delivery and the promise. And so you want to make sure that this is very much in alignment, because it will stop you from dealing with troubles kind of down the track. So at the beginning, what helps with this? Clear expectations. This is how we roll. This is how we work. All right, let's go to step number 2. And this is about delighting your customers. And this is like giving like that little bit extra. So you've promised them something, you've delivered them what you have promised. Sometimes it's nice to like just do that thing that's like just a little bit extra, right? It might be like, oh, hey, I just picked up a coffee. I thought you'd like one. Or it could be something like, hey, by the way, we have free Wi-Fi here for you to use. Right? It's just like a little extra thing. And that's when you delight people. That's what people remember. People remember that. They remember the things that delight them. And guys, this doesn't need to cost you money. I'm not talking about getting a free pair of shoes, right? The material things that you give, like gifting, can lose some of its magic. And so you want to think about, at this point in the extra stage when you're delighting, what can you do that is personal and relational? How can you build that relationship a little bit deeper? Because this kind of like extra and delight piece, we want to incorporate that in the first 3 to 6 months of their journey with you. Step number 3 is really about how do you dazzle. So we have delight, we have deliver, delight, and dazzle. How do you dazzle them? And dazzle is all about surprise. How do you surprise them? What is a surprise that you can provide them with during their journey? We like to do this about 6 to 12 months in. And so there you've got it. Deliver, delight, and dazzle. They're your first 3. And at these points, you're really just building followers, right? I'm not talking about Instagram followers or TikTok followers. I'm talking about people who are kind of, they're in your world, they're purchasing from you, they're coming to classes, they're like around, they're a follower. Then as we move into this next phase, which is how we create admirers, and I love this. So what we need to do in this phase is, this is kind of the dazzle as well, but step number 4 is really about engaging. How do we more deeply engage our customers? And engaging can be from communicating with them in a deeper way. It can be bonding as a community, bringing people together for like wine and cheese, virtual trivia nights, which some of our Inner Circle members have done. Just different. We actually did one last night for our Inner Circle retreat with our members. We had a trivia night, which was really cool, very competitive. And so, yeah, in this point of engaging, it's how do we create a deeper relationship with our customers? Because what happens there is we're going to get referrals, right? This is where we can start generating referrals. I think it's crazy. Someone's been at your studio for, a couple of weeks or a month, and you're like, hey, is there anyone you can refer? I mean, you haven't really built enough of a relationship just yet to ask. They'll refer people if they think you're good. But at this point, and again, this kind of happens in that 6 to 12 month phase, where you're just diving deeper with your customers. And when I say you, just a reminder, I've said this before, I'm not talking specifically about you. I'm talking about like you and your team. So this can include your team members as well, which it should be if you've got a large studio, engaging with your customers at a deeper level so that they refer. The next focus is number 5, is where we're really thinking about retention, because this will be coming up at like the 12-month mark. And so we definitely want them coming back. And the big thing here is just connection. And when I talk about connection in step number 5, I'm talking about connection to your studio. Most importantly, I'm also talking about connection to their community, which are the dancers in the class, the other parents that are part of these dance families, connection to the teacher. So we have about 4 points of contact, connection groups essentially in our studio. And we want to make sure that our dance families are connected to all of them in one way or another. It's, it's a little bit like when we think about connection it's like these ropes, right? We have like these ropes and we're connecting all of these ropes together to make a stronger system. That makes it harder for people to leave your studio. When you build deeper connection, and this has to be authentic. You can't like manufacture connection. Connection can be put into a project plan, but it has to be real and authentic. It can't be fake. People know when it's fake. And so build really real connection. And that's what we do in that phase. Then the last phase number 6, is all about raising to that next level, like leveling up. And this will happen after the 12-month mark. And for you, it's about delivering more value. How can you consistently deliver value that doesn't cost you money? Guys, when I talk about delivering value, I'm not saying, buy someone a car, pay off their month of their mortgage. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about how do you deliver additional value? You'll know your customers a little bit better after 12 months. And so you can be really clear about what they want, what's important to them. And that happens through like surveys and focus groups and conversations and all that fun stuff. And deliver more value. And then you repeat it. You keep going through this wheel, this care factor wheel. And at that last place, that's where you build fanatics. That's people that will love you, that will help you, that you will adore working with, having them at your studio. It's a really great place to be and extremely, extremely impactful. So there are like the 6 phases that we go through when we talk about care factor. And care factor is about customer experience, customer service, retention, community, all those great things that make a business highly successful. And I'm going to be diving more into the how to execute on these 6 steps in the Student Attraction Challenge. So if you haven't, please jump on over dsoa.com/challenge. The link is above this video, and sign up, because we only have 2 more days of Coach-A-Thon. That's it. Just 2 more days of Coach-A-Thon, which makes me very sad, but very happy, because we are going to be jumping into our Student Attraction Challenge training. I'm excited. I have the workbook here. If you've signed up for the challenge, you were emailed the workbook this morning, which is very exciting. So yeah, I can't wait. Inner Circle members that are watching, good morning. For those of you who might just be interested, we ran our first day of our Inner Circle retreat yesterday, which was incredible. If you follow us on social media, you might have seen some of it. We had Clint present. He played the drums for us in his studio. He talked about how to be an incredible leader. That was fantastic. Lauren, who is one of our Inner Circle Elite members. So Inner Circle Elite is for studio owners who are doing over $1 million in their business. We have 26 of those members in the program. She presented on how she is shifting her competitive team for the new season and what she is doing, which was so incredible, so innovative. Lauren Ritchie joined us as well from the Dance Podcast, who talked about mental training for our dancers. Phenomenal. Kelly Layton, another Inner Circle Elite member, talked about her programming for her students and how she's laid out her different programs for her students. And then Nick Sonnenberg spoke at the end and shared with us all about automation and outsourcing using things like Slack and Asana and Zapier. So good. Today's topic, I decided on today's topic because I see a lot of people doing this wrong. And if you know me, I'm just like pretty upfront. And so I see people doing this really poorly, and it needs to change if you want to get better at attracting new students through your door. And this is all about the words that you use. Copywriting. So copywriting is essentially all the words that you use across your emails, whether it's internal marketing, external marketing, your Facebook ads. Anytime you use words when you are sharing information with someone with the hope that they will take action, register for a free trial class, enroll with you, pick up more classes, re-register for the new season. It's all marketing, and it's all focused around copywriting. It's really like the first thing that people pay attention to are the words that you use and also the images that catch people's eyes. So today we're going to be talking about copy, and I want to give you 9 copy hacks. Now, this is going to help you as well for the training next week, because we're going to dive so much deeper into all of this stuff in our Student Attraction Challenge. So let's go through the list. There are 9. I hope you've got your pen and paper ready to rock and roll. So the first one is lose any vocabulary and jargon. So big words, any jargon that's used in your studio, anything that regular people, your ideal customers, wouldn't understand. I see a lot of people in their copy trying to be very sophisticated, trying to use acronyms for things, and I'm like, I do not know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about. And so we need to ensure when we're writing copy, we want it at a 7th to 8th grade level. 7th to 8th grade level when we're writing copy. Everyone has to be able to comprehend it, and everyone has to be able to understand it. And when I say everyone, I'm talking about our ideal students and our ideal parents. So no university level vocabulary, please. We don't need to show people how smart we are, because they're going to go, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm sure you've seen marketing materials where you look at it and you go, I don't know what you're saying. I mean, I do it all the time. So no buzzwords, nothing that's going to make people confused or make no sense to your customers. So that's the first thing. Lose the jargon and make it very easy and simple. Remember, 7th to 8th grade level of English. That's what we're looking for. Step number 2 is keep it simple and clear. Simple and clear, right? So not too much information, right? Not too much information. Like, you're the expert. Yes, give advice, make suggestions, or answer questions, but don't do everything, right? Don't do everything in the one thing. Don't give advice and make suggestions and answer questions in your marketing copy. You want to make it as simple as possible, and it should tell a story. And it shouldn't just say, when I say make it simple and clear, don't just say coming for a free trial class. That's not what I'm saying, but make sure that people can comprehend what you are sharing. Number 3, this is probably one of the most important steps, is build relationships and trust. Show that you're a human being, like be you. Here I am today, right, with you guys, rocking up in like my 100-year-old Adidas. I don't know what I get so confused with the Australian and the US. I think it's Adidas, Aussies, Adidas, like Nike and Nike. But just like rock up and just be you. Like, no one does a better job than you at being you. And that's what builds relationships. I know for sure some of you watching are like, I like you. I like you. I like what you say. I like how you deliver it. I want to be a part of what you're sharing. And some of you, so I see on Facebook comments on our ads, aren't really a fan of me. And I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. And so just turn up and be you every single day, be you. And that helps build trust and credibility with, trust, credibility, likability, all that stuff, just by you showing up, not pretending to be someone. Don't be watching someone else's videos and think like, oh, I need to be like that. It's like, I don't know if any of you have seen Oprah talk about her being like, I need to be like Barbara Walters. I need to talk like Barbara Walters. I need to, share like Barbara Walters. I need to interview like Barbara Walters. And Barbara Walters is like, you just be Oprah. Right? Just be Oprah. And I think that's the same with you. Just like rock up and be you. And the right people will be attracted to what you are sharing and will be attracted to your studio, your mission, and your vision. Number 4, entertain. Be entertaining. We're in a world now where our attention spans are like this big. They're like this big, right? They're so tiny, shorter than a goldfish. And so be entertaining as well. Put entertaining pieces into your copy, right? When you're writing your copy, tell a story, which is what you can do for the last step to build relationship and trust. But in number 4, in entertaining, make it fun, make it exciting, tell a cool story, right? Number 5 is make it scannable. We are all very short on time. Hands up. Would you agree? Anyone here short on time? We're all short on time. So when you're writing your copy, make sure that you are making it you've got bullets, you've got numbered lists. You're not doing like big chunky paragraphs all together, right? Make it scannable and easy to read. So you can kind of just go through it quickly and go bam, 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 bam. Cool. I get it. Short sentences, that type of thing. Break up your words. This is number 6. Break up your words with media. So as much as you can, if you're writing a blog post or an email, maybe put in some pictures or a GIF or a GIF, or however you say it, or a video, right? Mix it up so it's not like just like heaps of text all the time, right? So if you've got some text and some bullets and some numbered bullets and some images and maybe a GIF, maybe a video, don't put them all in the one thing, by the way. But just like mix it up. 7, tell the reader what to do. This is important. You need a CTA. CTA stands for, you might know this, call to action. Have a CTA, a call to action in all of your marketing activities, your emails, your Facebook ads, which might be click here to register for a free trial class. Learn more here. Send us an email to receive more information about XYZ. Register your dancer here. Purchase your recital tickets at this link, right? Calls to action, getting them to take action. Because there's no point in sharing a story or, writing amazing copy and then you don't take them anywhere. They're like left hanging, right? It's like the end of a film. It's like the end of the old, like Lord of the Rings, and you're like, what's going to happen? And you've got to wait a year or 2 years for the next movie, right? Don't leave them hanging. Give them the CTA. Tell the reader what to do. Number 8, be careful with your forms. And this is all about like your marketing opt-in. So one thing I see a lot of is when you're doing a Facebook ad and then you take someone straight to a registration form where you try and make them fill out 100 pieces of information. They're like, no way. Like, no way. I'm not filling out all of that. I'm not filling out all of that information, right? So it is very, very important. It's very important that on your form, you're just asking for the basic details. So it might be opt into a free trial class. What's going to pop up for them to fill out is usually parent name, student age, email, and phone number. They're the core 5. Most of the time, you'll just ask for the core 5. Never any more than that. And sometimes, depending on the offer, it might just be 2. It might just be name and email because it's for a guide or a free, dance pass or a collection of recorded dance videos. Like there's so many different offers. And guys, if you're interested in offers, I'll be talking about them at our Student Attraction Challenge next week. Reminder, if you haven't registered, dsoa.com/challenge. And lastly, step number 9 is get the reader involved. Right? So you would have seen like on Facebook, there's like those fun quizzes. Who's taken like what type of Disney princess are you? My hand goes up. And so your readers are like you. So have surveys, have polls, have quizzes, have contests, like get them involved and engaged in the conversation as well. And this just isn't about like Facebook ads. This is about emails. This is about all your social media posts, your organic posts on Instagram. This is how you talk to people in direct message, right? All of these tools can be used, right? So let's go through the 9. So number 1, what's number 1? Lose the vocabulary and the jargon. Number 2, keep it simple and clear. Number 3, build relationships and trust. Number 4, entertain. Number 5, make all copies scannable. Number 6, break up words with media. Number 7, tell the reader what to do. Number 8, be careful with your forms. Number 9, get readers involved.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Dance Studio Doctor, powered by the Transform My Dance Studio podcast. Don't forget to join us over in the Dance Studio Owners Hub Facebook group for more resources and support in growing the dance studio of your dreams while reclaiming your life.